Richmond landlord is now banned from renting properties for 5 years after a federal lawsuit accusing her of discriminating against certain tenants. The details are outlined in this settlement involving Housing Opportunities Made Equal and landlord Teresa Vetter. 2 years ago, the private fair housing agency sued Vetter after investigating complaints that Vetter showed preference to renters who didn't have disabilities and renters who had no children under 18. A trend CEO Heather Crislip says home is seeing happening more during the pandemic.
It does seem to be a trend. I'm guessing that has to do with children being home more often and landlords finding that to be a burden. But we think it's very important for people to understand the consequences of violating the Fair Housing Act.
In settling this lawsuit, Vetter agreed to sell her rental properties. She cannot be a landlord for 5 years, must pay $25,000 to Home, and take mandatory fair housing training. Crislip hopes this case will prompt other landlords to brush up on fair housing laws and new tenant protections.
We're also seeing a significant increase in the number of source of income cases that are coming in. And that could be a landlord refusing to take a housing choice voucher. That could be a landlord refusing to take payment based on the rent and mortgage relief program or other kinds of mortgage and rent assistance that's coming online during the pandemic.
Crislip says they believe the repercussions Vetter is facing are fair. She hopes it'll send a strong message to others.
Well, I think it is a time and a moment when landlords should pay attention to the Fair Housing Act because life just isn't on autopilot.
CBS 6 News reached out to Teresa Vetter through her attorney. He says she declined to comment on the settlement. Crislip says anyone who believes that they may be a victim of housing discrimination should contact Home at 804-354-0641. Working for you, I'm Shelby Brown, CBS 6 News.